Power Hour with John Lee.
Not to mention the Oklahoma City bombing. And the guy who's supposed to have done it, Timothy McVeigh, gave that as his reason. He said the reason that he blew up the Oklahoma City, the Murrah building in Oklahoma City, was because of Waco. It was revenge for Waco, because he couldn't believe that could happen in America. So what's he supposed to have done? He's supposed to have parked a van outside the building, a federal building, filled with ammo, and blown it up. Well, A, you're not parking a fucking rental van outside a federal building. And B, there was no ammo. You can see that because ammo's toxic. There were bombs inside the building. You can watch the news reports where they're saying and more bombs have been found. They've found another bomb. Air can't break concrete like that. So anyway, that's bollocks. None of the ATF were in that building. Alcohol, tobacco and firearms department. They weren't there. They were warned, don't go in. And they were involved in Waco as well. They wouldn't allow anyone to even rescue people that were still alive in the rubble, in the building, until those documents were collected. And who had all these documents in there from various scandals like Mina and like Whitewater and all that? Billy Clinton. Because when he went to Washington, all his records that were kept in Arkansas were moved to the Murrah building in Oklahoma randomly. What's the problem with Building 7? Well, mainly that most people in the world don't even know what Building 7 is. It's the Solomon Brothers building in New York. A couple of planes flew into the Twin Towers. Massive tragedy, 3,000 deaths approximately. I'll admit straight away, I don't know who did it. You're forced to choose between some guy in a cave in Afghanistan or George Bush. I don't believe either. Those buildings came down, in my opinion, very, very strong opinion, in a controlled demolition. Never. It's never happened before and it's never happened since. Happened 3 times in one day. Building 7 was never hit by a plane. It was a fire on one floor, really. The building collapsed because of an office fire, which is scientifically impossible. I don't know who did it, but I do know that the BBC knew it was going to happen before it happened because they reported it live. It went live 40 minutes before the building collapsed. The BBC were telling us all, Building 7 has also collapsed. The Solomon Brothers building collapsed a few minutes ago. And the woman's saying it, and the building's still behind her. It hasn't collapsed yet. It's there, perfectly solid, nothing wrong with it. I think someone's gone off script. Maybe the time difference, I don't know. But they've got the script saying Building 7 collapsed, and she's reading it. She's saying, oh yeah, Building 7 collapsed. It's behind you, love. Turn round and have a look. It's a big 47-storey building. So why are the BBC saying that a building has collapsed before it collapsed and then it collapses? You've got some questions to answer, but never asked. She has never been asked. The BBC have never addressed that, and they've even been taken to court. Who told you that building collapsed? Come on, you've put it on television. Who told you that? You're the British Broadcasting Corporation. The only problem with the letters was that they were caked in anthrax. There's people receiving letters with anthrax in them, and I think 5 people died. A lot of people were seriously injured. This is a chemical weapon. This is anthrax. You don't just make it in your kitchen. And they said that it was a guy called Bruce Ivins, or Ivins. I've heard it pronounced both ways. He was a biochemist, and he did work at Fort Detrick. So once again, it was one guy, but you can't ask him about it because he's dead. Make that kind of anthrax, you need a team, the most expert people in the world, and you need incredible machinery. So it was impossible for Bruce Ivins to have done that. It's literally not scientifically possible with the equipment that he had on his own. No way. And that's not me saying that. That's the top experts in the world saying not possible. And it's all connected back to Dr. Frank Olson. Who was he? He was a biochemist in the 1950s working with the same people doing the same things. There's a full series of documentaries about this on Netflix, right? We're even in Netflix territory. And the official story is that he just randomly ran and dived through a window and fell to his death. 9 days after getting, given in his drink, they put LSD in his drink. And his son at the time said, this is absolute bullshit. They've clearly thrown him out the window because he wants to.
Power Hour with John Lee.